Welcome to The Gig, a series about film and TV from behind the scenes and on the screens. We're your hosts, Layla T. Rosario.
Jessica Ransom.
And today's topic is our top 5 movies and TV shows you need to watch about Black folks.
That's right. I mean, we keep seeing all these lists from movies, TV shows, and books about race and about what happened with George Floyd. So we thought we would showcase our top 5 now.
Yeah, definitely. So let's add our 10 cents, and here's our top 5.
Exactly. Let's kick it off with the one and only Dave Chappelle and his Improv Netflix special that's now for free on YouTube, guys. This is amazing. It's so raw and real. And basically, it's what every Black person's thinking now, except for maybe Candace Owens. And that's the only time we're talking about her in this special. I loved it. I love that he said something like, he was all like, you know, now it's time for the streets. Like, you don't want to hear from celebrities. We don't. We want to basically, it's about the movement, the action. We want celebs to put the money where their mouth is and hire Black talent now. That's what I want celebs to do. I don't want to see no sorry video. I want you to hire Black talent now.
Yep, all that money that you got can go to employing so many Black talented people out there immediately. Yep. And agreed about David Chappelle, 846 being my number 1 as well. As you said, it is powerful, heavy, personal, it's touching, it's relevant, and it's needed to be said. And shout out to him for just saying, you know what? I'm not another celebrity that you need to hear from, but just because you're not hearing me talking as much doesn't mean I'm not doing things behind the scenes. Doesn't mean I'm not making movements. Doesn't mean I'm not making change. And much respect to him for that. My number 2 for me would be The Black Godfather. Oh my God, Jessica. This is a must-see documentary about music executive, entrepreneur, film producer, the biggest deal maker in Hollywood, Clarence Avant. Like a boss producer that he was, Clarence Avant made things happen. He knew the numbers game, how to make money, getting deals, endorsements, and knowing your worth when it comes to the money that you need, that you earn, that you should deserve to get, to be making in terms of what your value is, especially in the entertainment business. He knew everyone, every celebrity. He even knew the mob. He knew how to talk to everyone, and he was part of the largest music events, especially in the 70s, bringing large music labels at the time, known as Motown, Atlantic, Stax together for Save the Children film, and as well as having the best Black talent on stage and Black production crew behind the scenes. Highly recommend this documentary.
I got to check that out. That sounds great. Wow. My number 2 is 13th, directed by Ava DuVernay. And this doc on Netflix is so important. And it's based off one of my favorite books. This book was life-changing to me. It's called The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration and the Age of Colorblindness by Michelle Alexander. And I love this book. Everyone needs to read it. The film explores the intersection of race and justice and mass incarceration in the United States. It's titled after the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution, adopted in 1865, which abolished slavery throughout the United States and ended involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for conviction of a crime. And Ava and a ton of experts explore how even after the end of the Civil War, slavery wasn't done yet, y'all, because we had Jim Crow, we had the war on drugs, and we had the prison system. And all of these factors are set up to keep Black people in chains and Black people in prison and Black people, guess what? Incarcerated. It's a fantastic documentary. You need to watch it and then read the book, or read the book and then watch it. You gotta get on this.
You gotta keep watching it. Yeah.
Yep.
Watch it more than once. I did that. I rewatched it again last night. And it is, to your point, it is a must-see. Highly recommend it. My number 3 is Queen Sono. Switching gears a bit. Everyone needs to watch this series as soon as possible. Okay, I've watched it twice. And first of all, I'm into any badass kicking, and cracking down on crime. And who we have is Queen Sono. She's a South African spy. She takes on crime and she battles with a lot going on in her personal life. Her mother was killed and she wants to get to the bottom of who was behind it. This South African crime drama web series, to me, is a hit. It's got catty bantering, dialogue, and pettiness that I absolutely love. It also has a lens on classism and racism. It also focuses on normal day-to-day, family, love, sex, talks about international espionage. It's got excellent writing, humor, beautiful cinematography, diverse cast, a multitude of languages spoken in South Africa, top music scoring, and the shooting locations are absolutely beautiful. I mean, I might also add that everything Queen Sono is wearing is fly. She's out there kicking ass in stilettos, and I'm just saying, she's badass. Anyway, please hurry up with season 2 because I'm absolutely hooked on this show.
I mean, I hate to break it to you. I tried with that.
I know you did.
And I couldn't.
Loved it.
I could. It's very Black exploitation to me, and I tend to not like that genre of films, and that's what it reminded me of. I mean, I'm happy that they're probably get a season 2 and people are enjoying it, but I'm gonna have a hard pass on that series. I know I gave it a good college try though.
I know you tried. I know. For me, I love that genre, so I was absolutely hooked on that series.
Okay, all right. We disagreed on this one.
Yes, we did.
My number 3 is Malcolm X, directed by Spike Lee. And this is one of Denzel's best performances ever. I don't know why he did not win the Oscar for this.
Don't know why?
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, we know why. Oscar so white, hashtag. There's a great scene about race where like that Denzel delivers that is flawless. You know it, just Google it. You know what I'm talking about. And if you're really curious to learn more about Malcolm X, check out, of course, the classic, The Autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley, or, which I really liked, Manning Marble's Reinvention of Malcolm X. It's a book in 2011. It's a really interesting take about Malcolm X from all perspectives. Fantastic, loved it. Check both of those books out if you want to know more about Malcolm X. Now, I just want to add some 2 notes because some things have been happening that have been getting on my nerves lately. Let's just talk about 2 films that are trending right now that everyone's been up in arms about. Just Mercy and The Help. Let's first talk about Just Mercy. Y'all, I mean...
I haven't seen it, so I'm going to fall back and just listen.
This film to me was so boring. I'm talking like I watched 45 minutes of it, fell asleep, had to go back and rewatch it, fell asleep again, had to go back again and rewatch it, fell asleep again. I don't even think I finished the film because I kept falling asleep. It was just so damn slow and boring. And you knew what was going to happen. Michael B. Jordan was going to save him, and you knew that Brie Larson was running around being skinny. You just were like, all right, I get it. And I won't lie, I do believe these films are important. These are important stories to be told. But we've seen it a few times now. We've seen it in When They See Us, which I will get to later, which is fantastic, which is well done to be better than Just Mercy. We've seen it in For Life, which is on ABC right now, 50 Cent show. Great. Another one about a Black man in prison, the same as Just Mercy. We had A Time to Kill in the 90s, a Black man in prison, same as Just Mercy. And the list goes on and on. There's the Innocence Project. There's Proven Innocent, which is a TV show that was canceled, that was out a few years ago. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So what I just have to say here is that I do think this genre is needed, but we need to at least make interesting stories out of it. And that's why I kind of get into it.
And that was my question to you. So you just answered it. Why do you think it's boring? So
I just think the narrative is boring. I mean, the performances are great. I love Brie and I love Michael. I think they're both fantastic actors. Big fans. Hey, come on the gig. I'll interview you.
Hey, Michael.
Right. So, I mean, but I just thought the film dragged. And I thought the narrative was slow. And I thought it would, it took a long time to get to that climax, and it didn't really build as much as I wanted it to. And it just put me to sleep. It was a great, sleep aid. I'll say that right now. Nap time all the way. I'm gonna get into it. And now we need to discuss The Help. Let me say this about Help. It is a fantastic movie, guys. It's a fantastic movie. You could quote me on this. Jessica Ransom said The Help was fantastic because the direction, the acting, the performances, the costumes, everything in that film is flawless. But it is so problematic. It puts the P in problematic. It is problematic as fuck. And I cannot stress that enough. Literally Emma Stone, writing little memoirs of the Black maids, and they come together and they win. And it's so wrong. It's so wrong. It's so problematic. And it's trending everywhere or not. I want to be like, white people, no.
Why do you think it's trending?
Because they all want to be Emma Stone. They all want to be
Exactly.
They all want to be like, let's save the Black people, the poor Black people. I can't with this film. It is like, it's amazing, but terrible. And you know what I mean? If you watch the
I
film,
do.
she's right.
Yeah.
You will understand completely.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well,
that is the end of my rant. And now I have to get into my number 4, because I'm sorry, that those two films make me want to go off. My number 4 is a tie between Get Out and I'm Not Your Negro. And we already know about Get Out. Jordan Peele, great. So I'm going to gloss over that and to skip to I'm Not Your Negro doc. And it's a doc about James Baldwin. James Baldwin, if you don't know who he is a novelist, he's a playwright, he's a poet. His signature style is prose. Basically, he helped lend his word to the civil rights movement. He wrote one of the most defining books of the era called The Fire Next Time. It's his 1963 classic. And the film draws its inspiration from Baldwin's unfinished manuscript, Remember This House, intended to be like a personal recollection of his friends and the civil rights leaders like Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King. The book was supposed to be this revolutionary account of their lives, but it didn't really get finished. But the film itself, and in this examination on race in America, using Baldwin's original words, it has lots of rich archival material. I'm Not Your Negro is a journey into the Black history that connects the civil rights movement to the present Black Lives Matter movement. It is fantastic.
yes, it is. I Am Not Your Negro is one of my favorite documentaries ever. I'm sad it did not win an Oscar. And if this film isn't yet, it should be part of all schools' curriculum.
Agreed.
So my number 4 is The Banker. Inspired by true events, The Banker is about the first 2 Black bankers in the United States that made a change in real estate and in property. Excellent cast. You've got Anthony Mackie, Samuel Jackson, Neil Long, Nicholas Hoult. Why this film is important to watch is because it focuses on how in the 1960s, it was impossible for Black people to own anything, to get business loans and build wealth and have your own property. Anthony Mackie plays Bernard Garrett and Samuel Jackson plays Joe Morris, 2 brilliant entrepreneurs. Racism in this country prevents and limits Bernard Garrett, played by Anthony Mackie, and from being a successful real estate investor. So he meets Joe, played by Samuel Jackson, and who's a very wealthy club owner, and they become business partners. And honestly, it was a match made in heaven. Now check this. Because Black people could not walk into a bank to get a loan, look how they did it. They hired a working class white man by the name of Matt Steiner to pretend to be the head of their business empire while they posed as a janitor and chauffeur and basically bought up the majority of property in Los Angeles. And later on, they expanded their investments in Texas. I don't want to get into all the details and spoil what happens in Texas, so you need to watch it. But this film shows segregation, it shows racism, it shows classism in America. It's got great writing, costume design, set design, acting, everything. Must see. So my final 5, I'm going to switch gears a bit. It's a tie between 2 classics. House Party number 1, not the app, okay? Please, not the app, the movie. House Party number 1. And Poetic Justice. So House Party, the film, why it's so good. It focuses on a big house party of the year. Everyone is there. And why this comedy is a success is because you have leading Black cast actors starring hip hop duo Kid and Play. You've got Martin Lawrence, you've got Tisha Campbell, you've got AJ Johnson, you've got George Clinton, John Witherspoon. I mean, it is such a hit. But neither Kid or Play could ever imagine how crazy the night was going to turn out to be when they try to go to this party. This film is important because it focuses on Black love, Black families, Black culture, Black people. It also touches on teenage drama, hormones, issues, partying with your friends, teenage sex, racism, police assault, harassment, lying to your parents. We've all been there. Discovering your identity, trying to fit in, but also trying to stand out, and also highlighting hip hop music culture and dance. Now for Poetic Justice, written by and directed by the late John Singleton, stars Janet Jackson, Regina King, and Tupac Shakur. This romantic drama is about love, it's about pain, it's about violence. Justice, who's played by Janet Jackson, is mourning the loss of her boyfriend, who was shot and killed in a drive-in movie theater one night. So she uses her poems to deal with her grief, and those poems were written by Maya Angelou, who's also featured in this film.
Oh, see, when I was young, I was told, and young and skinny, I was told I looked like Janet from Poetic Justice. So,
Hey,
hey, but I
that
already,
is a major compliment.
I know, but I'm doing this because I know all the people like, no, you don't look nothing like her. I said when I was young and skinny and I went to an all white school, so that should just tell you what, they only had like 3 Black people they could reference, okay? So you're like, don't come at me, you don't look like Janet. I already know I don't. Okay, I prepared for this hateration. And also, we're talking about John Singleton, my movie, Higher Learning, fantastic film, great. If you want, that's what we should add as honorable mention as about race. You definitely need to watch Higher Learning. That is fantastic. And my final top 5 are, I have a tie to Selma and When They See Us. Also Ava again. Ava's like winning on my list. Selma is a film based on the 1965 Selma to Montgomery voting rights marches led by Martin Luther King and John Lewis and others. This film to me was fantastic. There's that bridge scene to me is like in my mind still like ingrained where there's a huge wide shot and a kind of like slow push moving.
Yeah.
I to this day, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful shot. Of course it lost to, Birdman, whatever. You know why that is. But it should have won. And the other one is When They See Us. And When They See Us is an amazing miniseries. It's about the Central Park 5, or now they're called the Exonerated 5. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a story about 5 Black men wrongfully accused in prison. And this miniseries is fantastic. I was crying all the way through it. It is still, to me, one of the best miniseries I've ever seen in my entire life. It is so touching and real and raw and beautiful. I am so mad. It didn't win any Emmys. It won.
I'm livid about that.
Yeah, it won 1 Emmy for Best Actor. It didn't win any of the other categories. Just shocking, and I'm stunned that
I'm not stunned or shocked, and neither should you be.
That is true. I should not be.
And it's why we got to continue to hire Black talent now and change the lens of this. Make our own award shows and ceremonies. Anyway.
Exactly. I mean, you nail on the head. Make our more, or you know what I mean. Get those voting panels. They need to open it up. They need to open up people of color, because that to me is like why When They See Us didn't win any of the major top miniseries awards was crazy, except for Best Actor. Like that's not okay. That's not Academy. That was not okay. That's a beautiful miniseries. So well done. Thank you, Ava, for such touching work. And that's really it for us. Now that's our top 5.
Thank you everyone for watching us on The Gig. Check out our recommendations and we will see you soon.
Yeah, hit us up in the comments or emails. You know how to get in touch. All right, bye guys.
Peace.